All right, so I'm going to go over some of the fiction functionality for QuickWrite. So all we have to do is create a new project. And you have to know that there's no one right way to use QuickWrite. You can use it however you want. You can use it just for character development. You can use it for plot outlines. You can use it for writing prompts just so you can practice. You can use it for book descriptions. You can use it to come up with the geography and the culture for the areas for your fiction book. You can use it to write romantic ideas for your romance book. You can use it for absolutely anything. All right. All right. So I'm just going to create a random project. And because I don't have an idea in my mind, I'm going to say, give me plot suggestions for um, a 5-act romance novel set in a fictitious kingdom. All right, so let's see what QuickWrite does with that. All right, so this is just an idea it gave me. So let's put that here and look at it. When the heir to the throne of a small kingdom is killed in a hunting accident, his younger sister, who has always lived in the shadow, is suddenly thrust into the role of ruling the kingdom. She is not interested in power, but she is kind and a just ruler who quickly gains the respect of her subjects. However, when she meets the new captain of the guard, she is instantly attracted to him. Okay, so I read through this, and this sounds pretty great. Um, now the now, the reason that QuickWrite is so good for fiction authors is because it's not going to write the story for you. I personally think for fiction writing that's cheating, right? We want to craft the words ourselves, and QuickWrite does not get in the way of that. You are the one who has to do the real work, but this can give you some really good ideas. Okay, so we've got this plot that it gave us that is really pretty good. It's about a princess whose brother was going to be the king, but he died in a hunting accident. Now she's the queen, and she falls in love with her guard, but she's betrothed to another prince from another kingdom. So it's got all of those elements, right? But now, what if we want to build that out a little bit? What if we want to know more about the princess, right? So we can say, first of all, let's come up with a name. All right, let's see if we can get a name for a kind-hearted princess. All right, and if we don't like what it came up with, then all we have to do is generate some more. All right, so we can just grab one, and you can generate all day till you find the one you want. But we can say Princess Amber. And actually, I like Amber, so that showed me Amber, and I saw that, and I thought, oh, you know what would be better? Let's do Amber, right? So we have Princess Amber, and now let's come up with a character description for Princess Amber. So we're going to say create a character description, Princess Amber. All right, let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so there we have a character description for Princess Ember. All right, and now maybe we need a book title for this, right? So, all right, so if we wanted to come up with the geography of the kingdoms, right? So this is a fictitious world where our romance is set. So what if we wanted to the geography for our fantasy world? So let's say let's create something else. Okay, and let's say create 5 kingdoms and describe their cultures. and describe their cultures and the relationships between them. All right, let's go. All right, looks like it gave us 5 pretty good kingdoms, right? So let's say, so we'll put them here, and then we can change them. We can change the names. We can do whatever we want with them. So we could say, okay, so let's say the kingdom of Sapphire is actually where our story is set. So we could change the working plot from when they heir to the throne of the kingdom of Sapphire. Right? So we just start to work this out as we go. We can do so many things. We can we can create plots for individual chapters. We can have it create. We could go further and say, okay, we've got the kingdom of Jade. Um, All right. So what if we want to develop a history for one of these kingdoms or for all the kingdoms? So we can say, write a background or backstory description. So write a background or backstory for the kingdom of Jade. All right. Let's see what it comes up with for the kingdom of Jade. Okay, so we decided to create a background and culture for the Kingdom of Jade, right? So this is where we get into do we want to continue to work in this one document, or do we want to have a whole document for each of our individual kingdoms and the characters there, right? You see that we have the tools right here to develop anything we want. And once again, we're not writing entire chapters. Its true power lies in helping you research and come up with ideas. And as you look, you can say, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. That's not a good idea. And then we tweak it and we make our story better and better to the point that we've really fleshed out our entire plot, characters, all of the different things that we're trying to do, right? Okay, so if we wanted, so the one thing we don't have is a book name. Probably we could do. Actually, I would say that the name of my book would be The Kingdom of Sapphire. And then if I had a sequel, it would probably be one of the other kingdoms, right? Until maybe you did a 5-part series and each kingdom was featured, right? Whatever you want to do, this is your story, this is your book, and QuickWrite helps you break all of that open and do whatever you want to do. Really just allows you to build and research quicker. So that's it. So this is would be the beginning of my outline and story for the Kingdom of Sapphire, and that's what. And once again, if there's anything that you want to create that's not here, then all you have to do is say create something else, and this is going to allow you to write whatever you want. If we wanted to say finish the paragraph, Princess Ember woke up late for her meeting with the Council of Sapphire. We'll code generate. Let's see what happens. She jumped out of bed and began to get ready as quickly as she could. She was running so late that she didn't have time for breakfast. She grabbed a piece of fruit and ran out the door. Okay, so there you go. If you needed that, you have it, right? It gave you some options, and you would look at this and say, oh man, I don't want to say this. Let me change that. But it gives you something to work with. Okay, so that's the core components of working with fiction inside of QuickWrite. So by all means, dive in, use the tools I presented here, come up with your own systems of how you use it, and let us know if there's anything we can add or that would be helpful for you, because QuickWrite can do so many things. And if you have suggestions of other things you would want us to build into it, just let us know and we would love to do that for you. All right, thanks so much. All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to quickly create a book outline and chapter outlines for your nonfiction book. So it's super easy to get up and running with that. So we'll start by going to nonfiction writing. Then let's start with a book outline. All right, and we can do something like guide to selling rural real estate. All right, this is some pretty good options here. Okay, so if you're the expert in the subject you're writing about, then you're going to know really quickly of whether you need to change any of these or not. If not, you need to kind of do some research and figure out which ones might need to be tweaked a little bit. For now, this looks pretty good. And then we'll actually go the next step and start creating outlines for individual chapters. All right, so let's see if we can come up with a chapter outline for the benefits of selling rural real estate. Okay, that seems pretty good. And now we might tweak some of these as we go. But that's really the process of starting to come up with an outline for your a nonfiction book. So you tell QuickWrite what you want to write about, and then have it generate an outline for you. And if you don't like an outline, then you can just click generate again and see what it comes up with the next time. And maybe there's some bullet points you like from one more than the other, and then you can just kind of pick and choose which ones you like best. All right, so that is how you start creating an outline for your nonfiction book. So let's grab a title for the book real quick. Okay, so if we just look through all of the title options, and we can generate it as many times as we want. So I'll make that my title for now. So QuickWrite can pretty much do whatever you ask it to do. So let's create a content section, and let's say, and then let's tell it to create a section of content for introduction. All right, so I'm asking it to create an introduction to the unique differences in the rural real estate markets. All right, let's see what it comes up with. The book that you're creating can be supplemented by the information that that QuickWrite is creating for us, but also we are going to have to add our expertise and our personal stories to it. So you're going to want to read each section, and that's really, if you think about the difference in one real estate book versus another real estate book, it's the personal experience and the stories that someone has. So you're going to want to put healthy doses of that throughout your book. But the sections we're creating here can fill out your book. Okay, so we've got, so we could do the same thing for each one of our bullet points for our chapter outline here. So I asked it to write chapter section on how rural real estate exposes you to more buyers. So let's see if it can come up with anything. All right, so here, that's a pretty good section right there. So QuickWrite can write a paragraph pretty well. It doesn't usually write more content than that. So you just have to continue to ask it to create more sections of content and then slowly build out your chapter like that. So having it write a good section of content and then you adding personal stories, your expertise. If you come up with a specific topic that you want it to write about, then you can ask it to do the same. So step by step, you'll continue to build out your chapters more and more and more until you have full chapters, and then you can edit them and tweak them and add personal stories to get you over the finish line. So that is how you use QuickWrite to write specific sections of content. In the same way you can do introductions, or you can tell it to write a section of content. You could tell it to write a conclusion for a chapter or a conclusion for a book. All of those things are completely possible inside a QuickWrite. So we encourage you to try all of the options and then figure out what works best for you. All right, so one thing I want to do real quick is, so I'm not real great at knowing when things should be capitalized for titles. So we'll just knock that out real quick. I'm going to tell QuickWrite title case, and then give it my title. All right, and it's going to capitalize everything for me. All right, now something else I'd like to do is I'd like to get a good book description right from the beginning. So we'll have that up here at the top. So let's get a book description. All right, so we'll give it the title and then a short description. All right, so that is a pretty good book description. Let me check it here real quick though. All right. So we created our book description, and now we can go ahead and create a few more other types of content. All right, and in the next video, I'll talk a little bit more about creating specific content sections to further fill out your book outline that we're creating. See you in the next video.